Today we're going to make a gluten-free version of seitan, and we're going to make it in two flavors. We're going to have a better than chicken vegan seitan, and we're going to have a mock red meat vegan seitan. So now has to be prepared, and then it has to be steamed, and then it can be put in the fridge or frozen and then cut into slices or cut into strips, you know, or even when you're steaming it you can make it into little nuggets. So whatever shapes you want to make it, it's very versatile. So instead of wheat, which has gluten in it, we're going to use a protein that has no gluten. So our protein is going to be split peas and rolled oats. So we're going to use our vegetables and add our flavourings, which will be some soy sauce and a little bit of apple cider vinegar and some water. And we're going to mix that up in our blender, and then we're going to add our split peas. Then we'll mix it together and make it into a smooth mixture. And then we're going to add our rolled oats, which we will first turn into a flour. We'll put the rolled oats through our food processor and turn it into a flour, and then add it to our pea mixture to thicken it up and turn it into a doughy consistency. And we'll also use some flaxseed. We'll grind up our flaxseed in our seed and nut grinder. Okay, so we've got our parsley, rosemary, sage, oregano, kale. Just use your discretion for how much. It's really, it just depends on what you have on hand. And we've got what I've got left of zucchini. I was going to have more, but I used it up, so I probably would have used more zucchini than that. That's only about half a zucchini. I'd probably use about at least one zucchini, and some cauliflower. Let's see, about a tablespoon apple cider vinegar. And you can use soy sauce or you can use sea salt. I like, this is Shoyu. This is organic, non-GMO Shoyu. So I'll just use some of this. And some clean water. I'm going to use our distilled water for this. Okay, we only want enough so that it will make a kind of liquid base. Oh, we also need some onion. So there's we're just going to use half an onion for this one, half an onion for the other one. So onion's going to go in there. So we're not using garlic in this one because we want a mild flavour, and this is a vegan meat. You know, it's and it's good for people who, well, it's tasty. So anyone who's a vegan, lots of vegans eat it. But it is a very good transition food. It's good for people who, eat meat and have a habit of it and want to stop eating meat or want to eat less of it. Then they can have this. I'm going to put on my earmuffs because it's very noisy. And it's all green, and it's pretty much blended up together. Next thing I'm going to add is some peas. Split peas. They don't cost a lot, and I mean I've looked for pea protein because I looked up some recipes for making gluten-free seitan, and most of them have got pea protein in it. But when I looked at the pea protein flour in the shop, it was very expensive. So I'm using this, and I think this is better because these are, you know, some of them are even sprouting a bit. So these are more of a whole food, so I prefer these, and it tastes great. You could try garbanzo beans instead of split peas, and that should be nice too. Here we go. So they've got 2 feet. I have to stop the cycle partway through, which means that I actually want to switch to my food processor now because I don't want to add more water. So we've transferred our pea, protein and vegetable mixture into our food processor bowl, and we're going to finish it off with the food processor. And we've got some rolled oat flour which we made in our little food processor here. Okay, so there it is. It's kind of like really tiny flakes, but it's all right because it'll break up some more in the food processor. So now we've got a good proportion, the majority of being the peas. We don't want to overtake it with the rolled oats, and it's still soft to a certain degree. So this is where we use our flaxseed to stiffen it up. The flaxseed is going to help to make it stick, because the flaxseed, of course, is a very good egg substitute for making things stick together too. So we're going to put some of our flaxseed in our seed grinder. So our flaxseed goes in here. I'll do a bit more than I'm going to use, and I'll just keep it in the fridge because I use it up quickly. I don't keep it for long before I use it. But if you're not going to use it regularly, just do what you need, because it's got omega-3 oils, which are really good for you, but they do go rancid very quickly. Okay, so here we go. There's a bunch of it. Certainly won't be using all that. And by the teaspoonful, so 1, 2, and another 1, 3. Now that makes, well, that probably makes at least 2 tablespoonfuls, I'd say, about 2 tablespoonfuls. Check that texture. Yeah, see that's quite thick there. I'm going to taste it now. because that's to taste good. It's got very strong pea flavour, but that, once the peas are cooked, then it's going to sweeten up. Won't be a strong pea flavour. So now we're ready to make our second batch of our deeper flavour. So we've got our parsley in there, and we're going to use some celery. We're going to put red bell pepper in here, a clove of garlic, half an onion. Okay, we're going to use some kale and cumin, ground cumin, say a flat dessert spoon for soy sauce, shoyu, I'm so used to saying organic non-GMO shoyu, and this one we're going to add two tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, of dehydrated tomatoes, water, okay, ready to go. That's 23 seconds at high speed. Now we'll add our split peas. Whoa. See how that goes. Let's go puree. Transferring it now into our food processor and adding our rolled oat flour and flaxseed. Now we're going to have to put these in a mould because of course, you know, it won't hold together on its own. So we're going to, you know, it is firm but it'll kind of flatten out. So we're going to put them in moulds and put them in the steamer. That's been steamed for 3/4 of an hour. I went longer because these were much thicker than I had done before, so I just wanted to make sure they were cooked through. I did put a little stick of bamboo into it just to see if anything stuck earlier, and it seemed to be a little bit raw, so I did leave it to cook another 15 minutes. These are quite firm now, but they're still, I won't take them out yet because they have to cool off underneath. They're still quite hot right down there in the centre. So that's firm, and then we're gonna, then when you'll see that's still soft there on the top, but it'll firm up as it cools, and then it'll then we'll see about cutting it. There, all in one piece. I'm going to cut it here, slice it. It's got a firm texture, firm enough. If I squeeze it, it'll squeeze. And we just cut our gluten-free seitan into slices there, and we're going to braise it with some soy sauce here. We don't have to cook it, we're just adding the flavour and heating it up. Okay, and what we have here as well is some sun-dried tomatoes. well, these are actually dehydrated tomatoes, and we've put them in some olive oil with garlic and basil. We're going to add that to here. So here it is, a spoonful in there. It's olive oil there. So now we just mix it in. Now we've braised these vegetables with a little bit of water and soy sauce. They're still, you know, they're still crispy, but they've gone limp. So now we're going to add our braised seitan into here. The seitan has been in the fridge for a couple of days, and the flavour is really good. It just mellows the flavour. And we'll just put that on the heat just to make sure we've got it nice and warm. And mix it together. I like to chop up some avocado and put it in as well. But once I take it off the heat, I'll do that. So we have just two ways out of the many ways you can serve seitan. Now this is our stir fry, which we showed you how we made that, and here we just made a quick cold cut here. So it's just a piece of seitan cut off the block, and we put some avocado and some olive pate, which we just pureed some olives, and a little bit of alfalfa sprouts and green onion.